Hi, I'm Don from DonDronesOn. The new Canadian drone regulations kick into full effect tomorrow, November the 4th, 2025. In other words, today is your last chance to save $300. Yes, the new Canadian RPAS regulations that have been discussed since 2021 will finally be fully in effect as of Tuesday, November the 4th. Has it been worth the wait? Well, frankly, for most pilots, it will mean absolutely nothing. But let's run through it. For those flying drones under 250 grams, there's no real change. They've added 2 new restrictions, but they were basically implied before. You can't enter Class F restricted airspace, and you can't fly near emergency areas, unless, of course, you have permission. One new thing is that you need to be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident to fly any size drone commercially, even a Mini 4 Pro for real estate shots. Otherwise, flying a sub 250 gram drone remains under the number 1 rule, 900.06. Don't do anything stupid by flying recklessly. Now, I say no big change here, but back in April, Transport Canada surprised all of us by making it a requirement to have an SFOC to fly a sub 250 gram drone at an advertised event. And as of November the 4th, that SFOC will cost $75 per application. And this is where my saves $300 comment comes from. If you manage to apply for 4 SFOCs for advertised events by the end of today, they'll be free, and you will qualify for a standing SFOC. That means you will avoid paying $75 per application after that. Well, at least until February 2026. What about basic operations pilots? Registering your drone now costs $10 instead of $5, but otherwise there are no changes of any substance in the regulations. Okay, I'm exaggerating. It is no longer a criminal act to fly with snow on your drone, as long as it's not on your props. Oh, and the SFOC application fees apply to basic pilots as well, including flying at advertised events. Advanced pilots. Well, a few improvements here. The big one being extended VLOS. This means that you can now legally fly a bit out of visual line of sight, as long as you have another drone pilot spotting for you. And the new sheltered operations rule means you can fly behind a building as long as you stay close to that building and away from people. I have videos explaining the details for both of these operations. The sad part about extended VLOS and sheltered operations is that they must have been considered massive concessions by Transport Canada. I mean, flying beyond visual line of sight? Heavens! And yet, for most people who fly regularly, it would not be considered horrifying to have your drone out of sight occasionally, or even a lot of the time. Despite this, planes aren't falling out of the sky and people aren't getting hurt. I think Transport Canada needs to think seriously about some of these regulations. When people regularly break one rule, they become desensitized to breaking more. And that's really bad. The visual line of sight rules, especially for FPV flying, are a prime example, as are legal requirements for checklists, site surveys, carrying around your instruction manual, for goodness sake. These are all best practices, perhaps, but they are not good as strict regulations. Anyways, I digress. Back to the rules. For advanced pilots, the only other significant change is that you can now fly drones or RC aircraft over 25 kilograms and up to 150 kilograms under some fairly serious restrictions. This is good news for agricultural drone services and for those with huge RC aircraft. So, other than these things, the main focus of the rules kicking in tomorrow is a slew of regulations and rigmarole for flying beyond visual line of sight. The Level 1 Complex pilot certification level becomes official tomorrow, meaning that if you take 20 hours of ground school, pass yet another exam and flight review, and set up an organization qualifying yourself as an RPAS operator, you can fly BVLOS in some very remote areas. Now, I know a number of people are pursuing this, particularly for commercial operations, and good for them. But this really doesn't benefit the vast majority of drone pilots. So there we have it. On November the 4th, we'll wake up to, well, not a whole lot different. I assume the Transport Canada Drone Safety website will be updated, the official rules and associated standards will finally be published, and things like the NavDrone app and NRC drone site selection tool will be updated. Drone Pilot Canada was updated months ago. All the new fees for SFOC applications, up to $2,000 for a complicated application, kick in tomorrow as well. I have videos already out there providing details on all the new regulations and updated study guides for both the basic and advanced pilot certifications. There's links in the description below, as usual. But sorry, no, I'm not doing videos about level 1 complex topics. It's just way too much work. So that's all for now. Safe and happy flying under the new rules.